What's up guys, Derek, moreplates.com. Today we're going to be talking about ab genetics, muscle insertions, and I guess this can apply to any body part really, but for abs in particular, specifically, and ab control, this is something that I didn't realize for years, to be honest. Like, even though I've been working out since fucking, I don't know, like 10 years now, maybe more, 11 years. Not really sure, but it's been at least a decade at this point, and I just always assumed I have really shitty ab genetics, and the reason being, which I do, by the way, like I actually do, but I didn't realize there was more stuff you could do other than just getting leaner. I thought it was you get leaner and, you know, progressive overload on ab exercises, and that's fucking it. Presentation can be altered otherwise because this is your ab inserts. You can't fucking manipulate them. You can't do anything about them. If they're asymmetrical, if they look shitty, you're just fucked. Just like if you have a lacking chest, you know, you can allocate more of your weekly volume to your chest workouts, or do chest hoists fucking 3 times a week, whatever you need to do, and allocate volume away from your strong body parts and more towards your weak ones, and kind of prioritize them. And that's like just common fucking sense. But most body parts, there's only really like one way to flex them. You know what I mean? Like if you flex your fucking bicep, like I guess you can do like, you know, you can flex it like a hammer. You can like a hammer curl kind of flex, or you kind of like ball it up. You can flex it like and peak it. You know, I guess there is different ways to flex different body parts, but in general, like when you think of contracting a body part, you don't really think of manipulating it in different ways like you can with your abs, which I've realized in this past year. Maybe this is just fucking common sense, but I think the thing is, most people, when they do their ab crunch, they see what is representative of their like best presentation-wise abs. For me, what I didn't realize this entire fucking time is that every time I got really lean, I would show, you know, I would get visible abs, but the abs were not like, I didn't like them at all. And it's like, they were not really, like they're genetically inferior abs. They're asymmetrical. They would show up as like these weird like slash marks. I'll show you a picture right now. So this is me here in, I don't know how many years ago at this point, but I was all tanned up and I had some, I was doing some sort of photo shoot thing. And as you can see, this is me doing like a flex with, you know, I have my delts popping, my arms flex, everything's fucking tensed up. But my abs, this is me tensed up with my abs. And you see these weird, like symmetrical, like slash marks almost. Like it does not look representative of an actual like abdominal wall whatsoever. And this is what I've been dealing with my entire fucking life. Every time I got lean, I'd see this shit. And it was like, you know, I wasn't a big fan, expectedly, you know, like who the fuck would be? You know, you hope that once you actually get rid of the fat, you're gonna have something that looks as close to, you know, like you're just, it's just a fucking lottery, dude. Like you're just hoping shit's gonna look good when you get there. So for me, you know, some body parts I'm genetically blessed. I have like some good delts, decent fucking traps. My back is not horrible. But then of course my chest, my abs, you know, certain beach body parts are fucking shit. And you just deal with it. But there was something I didn't realize this entire time that could have helped me immensely and probably helped my confidence to at least some extent. And that is ab control, as well as actually exercising abs, which is something most people don't need to do directly. But I did, and I'll just explain why. So here is a example of what my abs looked like earlier this year, actually. Like I really almost never take selfies anymore, to be honest, guys. Like even though I'm at the gym 4 days a week right now, I have taken maybe like a handful of selfies in the past like 2 years. And I just like, I don't know, I just like don't give a fuck anymore. My content's so information based, and I just don't feel a need to really do it like I used to. So this is one of the rare selfies I took. I was in my downlighting. I was just chilling with my, in the morning, I usually just walk around with a fucking house coat on and no shirt underneath. So I was just sitting here and I was like, the lighting's good, let me take a shot. And I've been playing around with like flexing my abs differently the past year. And I started to realize there's actually a way to manipulate my ab, like the way I contract them, to actually have them shift in a way that looks like an actual like abdominal muscle. I don't know how to explain it other than one way you can crunch down, and then there's another way you can kind of like crunch down and out. And it's, for me, the down and out way is fucking way harder. It almost feels like I'm giving myself like a hernia. So I don't even like doing it. but it is a way I figured out how to. I still have extreme asymmetry. However, I take on these like diagonal slashes that are actually crooked, somehow end up turning straight when I do it. This was actually a picture from, here, I'll show you actually. This was a good example because back in, like I almost never post pictures to be honest, but this was back in 2017. I did some douchey ab flex in the exact same room with this same house coat on with no shirt on. So, but I was on Milano tan, so of course I was more tanned, but you know, this is the same, you can see that same like slash. You see the abs like end right here. There's literally like a weird like 4-pack of slashes right there. And you can tell I'm lean, you know, I have the veins climbing up the fucking pelvis here. Got the sex lines going. I'm wearing my douchebag, what is this, diesel fucking, I don't know, some sort of boxers that I thought were sick. Yeah, so I have the same, you know, ab cuts you see in this picture here. It's the exact same shit. Because I didn't know anything else back then. Even up until recently, after like 8-9 years of fucking training, I didn't know anything else. And then it turned out, like this is the exact same house coat, the exact same room, exact same lighting. And then I was able to like crunch down and out and get this, which is, you know, not great at all. But it looks like you can actually see the bottom of the last ab, like under my belly button, which is weird because when I do the normal crunch, I don't even have that there, you know? The thing fucking ends like halfway down my stomach rather than turning into an ab at the bottom. So, I don't know, it's like the weirdest genetics I've ever seen, to be honest, for abs. But this way actually allows me to have like normal looking-ish, not normal, but they're asymmetrical, but they actually look like an abdominal wall rather than just like weird like hash marks. And this was like actually the most recent one a few months ago. I just started a cut in July-ish. And this was, I had like 10 pounds left to go and I posted this on Instagram story just for shits and giggles. And this was, as you can see, I was like flexing, like crunching hard and out, however that flex is. And you can see like the full outline of the abs straight across here. Now, not, you know, I'm not saying they're good. I fucking hate them, to be honest. But they're certainly much different looking than this. And it sort of revealed to me that you can actually manipulate the way certain inserts look just by learning how to, I don't even know, like mind muscle control them properly, like how to, your presentation. Like I'm sure there's a lot of actual brain power that goes into being able to do a vacuum properly, like actually learning how to like hold your breath properly, suck your fucking stomach in. Like, I don't know what the strategy is that Antoine Vaillant talks about. He brings his butthole into his throat or some shit. I forget what he said as far as how he does it. But like there's a way people go about like manipulating the way certain body parts present. And it can make a big difference in terms of how they look aesthetically. So like for me, it was, you know, very nice to at least find out I can go from this to crunching down in a different way and create something that I feel is like at least better than what I thought I had. You know what I mean? It's not like good, but it's fucking better than I thought I had. But one thing too, above and beyond that, so if you have shitty ab genetics, like I do, I would recommend it very much. Actually look in the mirror and like actually try and flex them in different ways. Because when you're lean enough, there's like a few different ways you can push, crunch, flex, like I don't know how to explain it, but different ways that will make them protrude in different ways that sort of looks a bit more, I don't know, like most people have 2 ab flexes, if that makes any fucking sense. And I feel like people who are lean enough to see their abs probably get what I'm talking about. There's a couple different ways you can make your abs look based on how you're crunching and how you're kind of like putting pressure on the wall internally. I don't know how to say it, but when you're lean enough, it becomes a lot easier to manipulate because you can actually see what's going on. Anyways, as far as what else I did that actually helped me make my abs look better, just like at rest when I'm just chilling there, not flexing, and improve the thickness a bit. Like I had a very shallow abs. Like not only were they these weird slashes, but I would have to get very lean for them to show up. Now I can just walk around at a normal-ish body fat and have them pop in like this. Like, of course, I'm flexing pretty hard here, and but they're thicker now to where they look more, you know, they're protruding more with higher body fat levels, which like for me, this was 10 pounds to go. And I had like, you know, objectively a deeper ab cut than when I was, you know, was much leaner, however many years ago or whatever. Like I was probably leaner fucking here than those pictures too. And here you see, you know, the same fucking slashes and not very much depth versus here you can actually sort of see the like big crease in between them. So anyways, what else helped me though is actually targeting them directly. So most people don't really need to do this. I know a lot of guys who really just hit their abs indirectly by doing, compound movements and stuff, and it works sufficiently for them. And a lot of them don't want to train their core directly because they don't want it to increase their waist size, which is totally reasonable. And frankly, if you have good ab genetics normally and they're not shallow and they're, nice and deep, when you're lean, then maybe don't touch them. But I mean, I don't know, just for like overall balance too, in terms of being able to have, like the kind of problems that can happen if you train your quads like way more than your hamstrings, the kind of imbalances you can develop. I feel like the same thing could happen not only from a risk injury standpoint if you don't ever actually train your core directly potentially, but above and beyond that, if you have bad ab genetics like I do, you might benefit from at least incorporating a couple key movements. And I'll tell you the one that I think is the most effective. So for me, the main like heavy hitter as far as ab movements is the kneeling cable crunch or kneeling ab crunch. Basically you put the rope behind your head, you kneel on the ground, and you can actually deploy progressive overload very effectively rather than just sitting on the fucking ground, doing crunches sitting there and just increasing the amount of reps every time with nothing on you. And just having like the constant tension of the cables is like, I don't know, it's like a very conducive way to induce hypertrophy. Like it's just, I don't know, but like the best feel you get out of a lot of movements is often on cable machines. When you do tricep extensions, when you do even just like bicep movements, if you attach like an easy bar attachment to it, you can get like a very good constant tension and get like a sick pump from it. And it's very easy to, and time efficient as well, which is something I value, to increase the weight on it because you just have fucking move a thing and put a new peg in rather than have to, undo all the weights on your fucking bar, like go put a new thing on here, go stack on another thing, find the clips, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, with the ab crunch, to me, there's not a lot of ab machines that are good in my opinion. And this is my favorite way to kind of develop the abdominal wall personally. Like for me, the reason I'm showing you this YouTube page is because kneeling ab crunches, all you gotta do is type that in and you'll find some OGs like Scott Herman showing you how to perform it. Other guys on here that'll show you how to perform it. I'm sure Athlete X must be on here somewhere performing it. Let's see, our boy Thomas DeLauer is here, looking saucy as fuck, and presumably teaching you how to do it here. Okay, no, apparently my Premiere is showing here, which is kind of funny. But anyways, so weighted ab work, maybe that might be a good thing to see too for Athlete Next. He always has good fucking tips. But that is the main thing. And then above and beyond that, I like doing a lower ab, like targeted movement. So that is typically something I will do like a weighted leg raise. And that's it gets kind of hard to do once you start getting above certain weights, because I usually will put the weight between my ankles. Like I'll literally just grab a dumbbell for progressive overload and literally just like leg raise it up to increase the weight. But obviously there's smarter ways to go about it. This is just the way that's best for me at my gym. Yeah, like for me, those are the two needle movers for exercises. There are obviously better ones. Those are just the ones I prefer that I can get done really quickly and easily. And I feel the most, very importantly. So if you don't feel an exercise, you should probably be looking at replacing it with something, as effective, but you actually feel, because the mind-muscle connection is actually fairly important to my opinion. If you can't feel what you're training, are you really hitting it or are you just moving shit around? You know what I mean? So, that would be my recommendation, dude. Obviously get as lean as possible. Abs are made in the kitchen. You're not going to show your abs just by fucking learning how to flex weird and how to, do weighted ab crunches. That's not going to do it. You have to get lean through diet, calorie deficit, energy expenditure through cardio, whatever it is that you use in order to expend more energy than you are intaking. That is how you are eventually going to get the visible abs. But in terms of developing them, this is something that you might want to look at if you are in a similar boat to me. So anyways, take from that what you will. You are indeed confined by your genetics to some extent, of course, unfortunately. And oftentimes you will end up just developing a body part into a bigger version of that body part, even if it's genetically inferior looking. But there are workarounds that can sort of at least, I don't know, make it a bit better than what you think it is potentially. You know what I mean? So for that, fortunately for the abs, there's at least a couple ways to flex them, and hopefully one of your ways of flexing them looks good, because you're kind of fucked if if that's not the case. And like for me, I'm not happy with either of them, to be honest, but it's just the second one, the fact that I just learned about it and I could have been doing it this whole time, kind of annoying, to be honest. So don't make the same mistake I did. Actually, literally stand in the mirror next time you get shredded and kind of just try and flex them in different ways and see what happens. That is my suggestion. So if you guys have any like suggestions for instructional videos on how to train your abs in terms of like actual presentation wise, like flexing, I'm sure there's got to be a pro bodybuilder who's done this before and kind of just like showed this is how you vacuum, this is how you flex this way, this is how you do this way, and explains it better than I can. That might be good to drop in the comments down below. And obviously all the comments help the algorithm, so they're much appreciated when you guys do that. So thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at moreplates_more_dates, Facebook, Snapchat, Bitch, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I am associated with in the video description below. My TRT clinic, it's all telemedicine from the comfort of your own home. My recommended lab test panels, Gorilla Mind, nootropic formulas, Gorilla Mode, pre-workout formulas I designed myself from scratch, and anything else I am associated with, it's all in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.